Good morning, T Squad. So this video today, you guys, will be a little bit different. I've read where you guys wanted me to do a day in the life of healthcare management. Basically what I'm doing, I'm sorry for the noise in the background. We have my stepson today, so he is on his phone playing, and here he comes now. Say hey.
Hey, booties.
No, say hey, T Squad.
Hey.
So anyway, I'm just getting ready for work. This is actually going to be like a different type of a day in the life with healthcare management because this is a snow day. So hold on, Blaine, pause it for a minute.
Okay.
Turn it down. Okay, so it's gonna be a little bit different because here in Texas we have been snowed in. So basically I have been off of work since last Thursday, so almost a week. So we're just now able to even get out and actually go to like anywhere. Like yesterday we got stuck trying to go pick up my stepson. So today hopefully we can make it to the ER with no problems. So yeah, I'm just gonna take you guys along with me, and hopefully this day in the life will kind of give you a roundabout of what I do on a day-to-day basis. And I will be doing another one, but with this being a snow day, I figured why not do one snow edition, because I work in an ER, so regardless of the conditions, at some point I still have to go to work. These conditions were just a lot different than what normally happens. So I know you guys see my hair all over my head, so I just have my leave out parted out because I'm about to curl my hair. As far as my outfit, I will show you guys a little bit later. My outfit is totally different than what I would usually wear to work, simply because the conditions we're in right now. And I will explain all that later on in this video. Okay, so I'm gonna show you guys I'm gonna give you guys a quick overview of my outfit that I have on today. Like I said, this is very abnormal. On a normal day of work, I would never dress like this. But because I work for an ER, I gotta do what I gotta do because I gotta get to work. So this video is gonna give you a little bit of insight of healthcare management ER, which is a little bit different from working for a regular clinic-based hospital, or working for somewhere that is not open 24 hours, 7 days a week. So my outfit that I have on today is just a gray sweatshirt. It's super thick, a Los Angeles sweatshirt. Then I have on some gray duck boots, if you can see those, black tights, and then on a normal day I would never wear this, but we just gotta do today. So okay, just to kind of give you guys an oversight of how the weather is right now. Yeah, this is what we have in Texas right now. Like, it's at least 6 to 7 inches of just snow and ice. So
like I was falling through the air. No one but myself to hold my hand. Standing in the shadows of what we have been. With your back facing me. I know this isn't us. Baby, pull me closer, let's fall in love. Oh, I can feel my body move to every move you make. And I can feel the tension every time we're close. I know whatever happens, I will have you next to me. 'Cause tonight we have it all. Good when dancing is one. 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 We've been into places all at once. Wish that what we said would come undone. Feels like our minds have been turned off. Haven't seen each other for so long.
okay guys, so I'm back. It is actually the next morning. I did not get to come on here and end this video because we got back a little bit later than what I expected. The roads were still pretty iced over and bad and really slippery. So I just decided to get up and finish this video this morning. So with that being said, basically this video was just to kind of give you guys an overlook of the different pros and cons of working healthcare administration / management in a 24-hour facility versus a non-24-hour facility. So what I did in this video was just kind of took you through a day of inclement weather so that you guys could kind of see what I do at work, even when other people are probably not at work. See, that's what you guys are here for. That's why you guys have waited all the way to the end of this video, and I definitely appreciate it. And I really hope that this helps somebody out there decide if they want to work at a 24-hour location or a non-24-hour location. So I have basically jotted down a few notes, pros and cons of working at a 24-hour location versus a non-24-hour. So we're just going to go ahead and jump right into that. Before I get into that though, I'm going to give you guys a little bit of a background of what I actually do and what it entails. So if you guys have not, please go over and look at my initial healthcare management video. That way you can get more of a feel of how I got into this field. You can get more of a feel of the different different education that I had to get in this field. So yeah, if you have not did that, go ahead. I'm gonna put it right here so that you guys will see it, and it'll also be down in the description box. So basically I am a auditor at my job. So in a smaller, compact definition, I basically look at every single chart that a patient has. If they ever came and visited our facility, I have laid hands and eyes on their charts, and I basically make sure that all the demographics are put in correctly. I make sure the patient has insurance. I make sure that if there is anything off financially with that chart, that I get in contact with either the billing company or the patient themselves and try to make a resolve any way that I can. So it's basically just like a checkpoint so that we can make sure our patients receive not only the best care but the best care financially. We know that a lot of people have a lot of issues with their insurance companies not wanting to cover different aspects of their medical visits, and so we are just there as a checkpoint to make sure that we've done everything on our end that will make sending the claim through a little bit easier. So I absolutely love what I do. I love it more so because of the flexibility, the way that I'm able to kind of play around my schedule a little bit. It's a lot of different reasons why I chose to do what I am doing. And it also gives me a chance to be more involved with my family at home, just because I did come from being at the front desk. I was the office manager for the same company for a while, and I absolutely loved it. I really did, but that took up a lot of my time and a lot of my free time. So when this opportunity came available, I took it up really quickly. I'm not sure, like I said, I do work for a privately owned company. I know that other freestanding ERs, and I know that other ERs do have departments that's very similar in the department that I work for. So I'm sure that there are a lot of opportunities out there for you guys to jump into that aspect of healthcare administration / management if need be. So I'm gonna jump right into these pros and cons. So let's go. The pros of working for an emergency room, which is a 24-hour location. So the first pro is you usually make more money working in an emergency room or 24-hour facility, simply because you guys, that facility never shuts down. Rain, sleet, snow, tornado, hurricane, it doesn't matter. They do not shut down. So with that being said, a lot of times you are away from your family more often than what you probably would want to be, or you're taking calls off location even though you're not at work. But they definitely do compensate you for the time and energy that you put into your job. So that is one pro. The next pro is usually the pay is doubled. Usually when you work for an emergency room or a freestanding, your pay is usually double of what people are making at a regular based clinic or a non-24 hour location. Next, the benefits. The benefits are usually a lot better. Like I said, simply because you're working for an emergency room, they never close down. And if you're working for a privately owned company, usually they give you an option to have a lot better benefits. Like, they usually go through and handpick the benefits that they offer, and they give you different choices. The next one is more hours. So obviously it's 24 hours, so you get more opportunities to get a lot more hours than what you would at a non 24-hour clinic, which means not only are you getting more hours, but usually you're probably getting paid overtime because you've already hit your 40 hours for the week. So now you're going into your overtime pay. And that pay just really depends on what your base pay is, what your overtime pay is. Not only do you get overtime pay, if you work on holidays, which more than likely you will, because it's a 24-hour location, you probably would have to work some holidays. And when you work holidays, yes, it may seem like, oh, I really don't want to work, but not only do you get paid for working your regular shift, but you get paid time and a half. And then some companies also pay you time and a half plus another extra bonus on top of that, just depending on where you work. Flexible schedule. When you work for a 24-hour facility, your schedule is a little bit more flexible than working for a non 24-hour facility, because that facility never closes, and usually you have room in your schedule and in your department to be able to kind of manipulate your schedule the way that you need it to be. So say for instance, you are supposed to work Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday. Well, you may have a doctor's appointment on Tuesday, so you can easily go to your manager or maybe to a coworker and say, hey, if you work my Tuesday, I'll work your Friday. And you may just get to a point where some weeks you cannot do it, and you just feel like, I'm stretching myself. Well, you can go to your manager or your coworker and say, hey, I'll switch about 3 days with you during the week if you could take some of my weekend shifts. So it's a lot easier to manipulate your schedule the way that you want it to. And a lot of people do work in 24-hour locations because of that. They're able to do what they want with their schedule, and they're able to make their work days flow better with their at-home days or their personal things that they have going on outside of work. So those are a lot of the pros to working at a 24-hour location. It's not all of them, but it's a lot of the, I guess, main ones that people look at when they go to search for jobs or they try to decide where they actually want to work. And of course, if you have pros, you're gonna have some cons. So the first con is it's a 24-hour location, which means operations never stop. They never stop. Meaning if it is inclement weather, just like this video, if it's inclement weather, meaning snowstorm, tornado, hurricane, bad rain day, operations never stop. You may be called in at times where you really don't want to be called in, but that's what you signed up for, so that's what you have to expect. Level of patients are usually double of a regular clinic. So the reason why the level of patients are usually double that of a non 24-hour emergency room is simply because emergency room, you get nothing but walk-ins. People don't make appointments to come to an emergency. Like, you're not gonna say, oh my god, I'm gonna have an emergency tomorrow, so let me call them, make that 8 o'clock appointment for an emergency. Not gonna happen. People just walk into the ER room because obviously it's an emergency. It was an accident, something happened that they did not plan to happen. So that is why your patient volume is usually double of a clinic. A clinic usually has a lot of control over the amount of patients they see in a day. 24-hour locations, it does not matter what the doctor says, it does not matter what the administration says, it does not matter what the owner of the facility says. However many patients we see is what we see. One day we may see 100, the next day we may see 200. One day we may see 300, the next day we may see 50. It just depends on how many emergencies have happened in that day. So that's one of the cons, especially with healthcare administration / management. You cannot, you can't plan. It's really hard to plan ahead of time as far as your workload, because you really don't know what your workload is going to be until you know how many patients you have seen and what all you have to do for those patients. So to me that's a con, because especially if you're like me, I'm super organized and I like to kind of know what my day will consist of. It's not that easy. I may know a day ahead of time just because of what I'm doing right now. I may know a day ahead of time of what my workload will consist of, and usually it's quite a bit. But when I was doing the office management, I never knew, you know, what was going to happen, which you know, sometimes it was exciting because I never knew what my day would consist of. You know, and a lot of times I took those opportunities to learn new things about the business, to learn new things about the administration side. So although it's a con, it can still be a pro, because you're still learning a lot of different ways to take care of different problems that may land in your lap. So you can kind of take it either way. Is it working on holidays, whether that be on location or answering emails or important calls while away from location? So I think I've kind of already went over this a little bit, but that's always a con. Like, you know, being away from the office and you're still having to work. Next, we're going to do pros and cons of a non-24-hour facility. So we're going to start out with the pros. The pros are, one of the pros is you usually work Monday through Friday and off weekends. Everybody wants that schedule. That's literally bank. We at the ER, we call that bank teller. A bank teller schedule. Through Friday, you're working 8 hours. You're off the weekend, Saturday and Sunday, and you start over Monday. Another pro is off on holidays. Most non-24-hour facilities, or most healthcare administrators that work for bigger corporations, are usually off on holidays. Now, with that being said, just because you're off, you're still an administrator, and whether it is a 24-hour clinic or a non-24-hour clinic, anything could happen. So it just really depends. You still may receive some calls or emails, but they won't be as hazardous as working at an ER. Usually if you work at an ER and you receive some calls and emails, you probably need to respond to them as soon as possible. Not so much for a non-24-hour clinic, and not so much for a bigger corporation. It just really depends. Next are the cons. So one of the biggest cons that kind of veered me away from a non-24-hour location is simply because you don't get that option for much overtime. So you don't get the option for much for many extra hours, which obviously at the time when I got into this field, I was very young, and I'm still very young, and I'm still very ambitious, and there's a lot of things that I want to do. And we all know that in order to move around in this world, you gotta have money. You gotta make money. It's just a fact. I know people are like, oh, well, you know, it's not about the money. It's always about the money, because you have to make money to live. You have to make money to live the lifestyle that you want to live. Now, I'm not saying that, you know, money is like the driven mindset for every little thing you do, but it plays a big factor. And so when you work at a 24-hour location, you're able to pretty much make a lot more than what you would be able to make at a non-24-hour location, because non-24-hour locations usually work, they operate 40 hours a week, and that's it. There's really no extra, unless you happen to like pull a double, which I'm sure that doesn't happen often, because they're usually staffed higher to make sure that they're fully staffed at pretty much all times. So it's really hard to get the extra hours that you may need or want. Set in stone schedule. To me, that's kind of a con, because I did used to be that person that was kind of like, I have to work Monday through Friday and that's it. Now that I've so many years had a flexible schedule, I'll just make this an example. Right now my schedule is Monday through Thursday, and I work 10-hour shifts. So I usually work Monday through Thursday, 8 to 6, 9 to 7. It just depends on how big of a workload that I have. But I really, really love the fact that although that is what I work normally, if I have a doctor's appointment on a Monday, I have like 3, 4, 5 doctor's appointments on a Monday. Well, if I don't get to go in on Monday, that doesn't mean that I lose hours for that week. I'll just go in on a Friday or Saturday and make my hours up. With a set in stone schedule, it is very, very hard to miss days of work and either not take PTO or be able to make up your hours. You'll have to one of them you'll have to do, either take PTO or just lose out on the hours. And I just really don't like that. I don't like it because life happens and things happen, and sometimes you can't control things that will happen. And then so it's kind of like, because I was out of control of, it wasn't in my control of what happened, I don't feel like I should still have to lose out on my money because of it. So the set in stone schedule I consider a con. Now you, on the other hand, may think that that is a pro. Like, that's what you want. You want that set in stone schedule. This is what you work. I don't want it to ever change. Dry cut, just like that. So it may work for you. But for most people, they want a little bit of flexibility. Not many bonuses outside of a yearly bonus. So a lot of non-24-hour locations only bonus their employees their annual bonus, their end of year bonus, or whatever you want to call it. My personal experience from working for a 24-hour location, privately owned, they bonus you according to the work that you produce. So if you are working your behind off, they make sure that you are compensated for it, and they make sure that you feel like you are appreciated. And that's one of the biggest things that I love about working for an emergency room, especially a freestanding emergency room. And the very last con, the benefits are usually very minimum to standard when working for a non-24-hour clinic. I'm not sure why, it's like that, but from a lot of people that I have spoken to, a lot of job interviews that I have been on, they have made that very clear that the benefits are not always the best. And so we all know, outside of hours and your money, your hourly pay, your benefits is like one of the biggest things. My personal experience from working for a 24-hour location, privately owned emergency room, the benefits are amazing. Like, they are really, really good. And I appreciate that, because obviously we work with insurance every day, and we work with people that either A, have insurance, they have really good insurance, B, have insurance and it's not that good, or C, don't have any insurance at all. So the company that I work for really took that into mind, and when they got our benefit package set up. So the benefits, I would say, next to the hourly rate and the schedule, are probably like the 3 things to be very mindful of when choosing what kind of location you want to work for. But just to wrap up this video, I just want to let you guys know that I definitely appreciate you guys coming to show me support on my channel. I love the fact that you guys have made so many interest in the healthcare management / administration field. I have read almost everybody's comments, and I appreciate it. I really do. And I'm going to be going through those comments to look at different video ideas to give to you guys. So if there's anything in this video that you did not quite understand, or you want me to do another video to kind of explain it a little bit more, please let me know down in the comment section. I'm also going to be putting my email address in my description box so that you guys can email me any questions you may have. I've had people to reach out to me on Instagram and Facebook, and I really, really do appreciate it. It just warms my heart, and I love the fact that people are actually getting more involved into this field of work, because you guys, ERs, the medical industry altogether, they need healthcare administrators and managers. They need us to operate. So I love the fact that you guys are really dabbling into that field. So yeah, this, like I said, this video was basically to let you know how it is working for a 24-hour facility, even in inclement weather. So I hope you guys enjoyed this video, and I hope it was very educational, and I just hope that it was interesting and that you guys loved it. So as always, if you're oldie but a goodie, thank you so much for coming back to my channel. If you're new, go ahead and hit that subscribe button, give this video a big thumbs up, and leave a comment. And be sure to follow me on all my social medias at Tenerica. Until next time, I'll see you guys later. Peace out.